Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Legends Franchise Association. I am filling in for Soren today, Becky Rita. Joining me on the cast is ADHD. How are you feeling tonight? How are things going, Anthony?
Feeling good. World started. I'm casting with Becky again. It's a good time, and I think we're watching what's probably likely to be an entertaining series of games tonight.
Yes, we have decided we looked at these matchups where we have several teams who are high ranked going against each other today. We have the match between uh sorry, I'm looking at them. It's I think we have
Ice and mint.
yeah, we had some pretty a couple stinkers today. Uh so it's a matter of, do we watch good teams or do we just pick the worst teams possible? And this is the matchup where I think we get the most amount of comedy, if nothing else. It could be tragedy though, and I think that either way, it's going to be a successful night of games. As we do have the Mint roster has gone through some troubles this split, due to some various player issues, just not wanting to stick around, and Ice as a team has just not really done anything successfully. Ice currently winless. Mint has one win, which they got over. Uh, we looked this up, and I immediately ID. They got it over ID, which is not nothing, but it certainly feels like nothing here in week 6, as we have our bans just about finished here. Uh, a lot of seems just like a lot of targeted stuff, and also J4, which I mean, I get it.
That's valid. I don't think you're giving Ice enough credit though, Becky. They were really coordinated for that drunk night in the exhibitions. They
That
have
is true.
they have managed to come together as a team for at least one thing. And that is one of them. And this is the Kindred for Rex. I think I might be the only jungler in the league to ever lose to Kindred, and it was to Rex's. So
I beat Rex's Kindred when in the season I was up in the upper division. I did beat Rex's Kindred by playing Gragas. It wasn't because of me. My team carried me, but I can pretend it was because of me. As we have Mint going for the Lee Singu with the Ashe. Lee Sin, I know they buffed him up a bit before Worlds because everybody loves Lee Sin, because he's just a cool guy. And Ashe is extremely boring, but you know, we're just picking stable champions there. Is it the Maul? Is the Maul on 80 carry for Mint today? Okay. It has been confirmed by Giggle that
because
the Maul is on 80 carry. No Aphelios,
probably because
Resident
I'm a bit of
Sleeper.
a boost. 21 is the
Oh,
sub for Mints.
that explains
Jungle,
Jarvan.
Jungle, yeah. That should be fun. Supports going to other roles is always interesting. I believe he's a support, right? I think so. Oh,
Yeah,
apparently he
21
plays
has
both.
more recently been playing support, but did do jungling more often in the past, in a few other splits. I was 21 might have been the jungle on the really awesome Islanders squad for the Blue Otter draft that Giggle was on. A little that split. We don't. But we don't need to talk about that anymore. Than is necessary. Uh, Orn will be finished out here for our we're just dropping Orn on the table with every pick in the game still available. That is quite a choice.
Listen, if you're gonna pick a weird champion early, I would much prefer Ornn to Lee Sin. Like, I, I understand the thought process behind Lee Sin. It's probably good against Kindred in some capacity because you can like kick people out of the ult and stuff. But I don't know. Even pros don't pick this champion anymore. He's very hard to execute, but he is fun. So I'm glad that they picked them. Uh, I
Yeah,
will I will defend Ice's draft a little bit. I'm gonna cope here. They have the Kindred, so they already have the ADC, right? I'm gonna assume that
mm-hmm,
Ziggs is ADC.
mm-hmm.
I think Ziggs ADC is one of the better champs to pick with Bard. He just sits there and clears the wave while Bard runs around and does Bard things. It's a pretty decent idea. However, if Mint locks in some kind of strong support like Leona or Nautilus or something, with the Ash, Bard might just have to stick around or Ziggs is going to get permadove. So, Nami.
Yeah.
Not my favorite
And of
choice,
course,
but it'll work.
yeah, and of course you have the powerful synergy of Bard throwing his ulti onto the Kindred ult, which I think is gonna be a game changing maneuver if we get to see that this game. Uh, the Nami will be locked in for Mint here as they
Mint's comp is super low damage.
yeah,
Very,
it's
very low damage.
very they need something big in the mid lane, some kind of just like actually good mid laner, some powerful AP. Fortunately, Ice has gotten rid of some of the more bait picks, like the Ari would be just very depressing if that was picked up. Fortunately, that's banned. So we might see a damage dealing mid laner from Mint. Speaking of, Ice have picked up Azir, which is theoretically damage dealing with the
Yeah.
Volibear. This draft is horrible. What are these champions doing together?
I think this might be why he seems to be struggling to win. I think we might have identified the
All right,
problem.
I've got my detective hat on. I think we've solved the case.
Yeah, this is definitely. I will say the past couple weeks, I think I've actually been more positive on drafts than I have been in the past. I thought that they've actually been pretty decent. So this is coming off some high expectations. Vigar actually fixes the comp a little bit. I think
Yeah,
that's among the best picks that you could have picked there. So we'll give us some credit from that. And all things considered, I don't think their comp is that bad. It's just very low damage. I don't really think that Ice has any like real super tanks. So maybe it's just not going to be that big of a deal, and they're
yeah,
fine.
and this is especially true because despite the fact that Volibear needs to build tank this game, he's not going to. He's gonna go fucking thrift shop Volibear with 17 components at 40 minutes, no damage, no items, dies
Okay.
instantly.
Okay.
Uh,
Wait, Becky,
so
Volibear has been nerfed 2 consecutive patches, and I'm pretty sure both of them have been targeted at the like dumb AP build. So if there's ever a time that they were gonna build a Sundered Sky,
it's not gonna be this game. I
now,
guarantee it.
this is the time for Sundered Sky to Dead Man's Plate. I promise. I promise. It's an Ash. It'll give you the slow resist. I'm begging
That
you.
it's true. That's true. Surely we're thinking about that. So I guess based on these drafts, which team are you favoring here going into game one?
Um, I am gonna give it, I think, to Mint. I think that incredibly, I like the mid jungle duo of Lee Sin plus Vigar better than Azir Kindred. That just
Really? Are you sure?
that's, that sounds difficult to execute, shall we say? That being said, I think Rex is one of those guys that can make it happen against people that are worse than him. He's kind of one of the gatekeepers, so we'll see how 21's Lee Sin stacks up. And plus, if Jake is playing tonight, he's a pretty good player. I think they might be able to do something with that.
Yeah, that's certainly something to consider. The Maul is no slouch on the Rift. I would have to agree. I think the Ice comp is just, it's definitely a case of we've picked all of our favorite champions and we're going to try and win with it. Including the Kindred, obviously, which I think is going to be how Rex performs in terms of can the Kindred get going? If Rex can start snowballing, very capable player, skilled on the champion to make it happen. But even with the snowball going, I just have no idea how you kill the opponent as Iceborn before they kill you. I guess it makes Ash being low damage is certainly gonna be helping that, but there's not a lot of tankiness on the side of Iceborn. The Volibear is gonna betray me. I can feel it. And I think the funniest part is just how many buttons Iceborn have that completely fuck over Kindred ulti. I think that's adorable. I find it very amusing. So I gotta go with Mint as well. It just
Uh,
feels like a more cohesive team, but that
I'll
doesn't
I'll
always
give
mean
you
success.
I'll give you some copium. It's World's time. I'm an NA fan. I've been overdosing a bit recently, so it's going to carry over a little bit. I think that if this Bard is piloted well, I do think that Iceborn does definitely outscale. I think that Vigar and Ash are two champions that are very hard to play into Bard ult. They're just
Hmm.
both immobile. You get a free flash at minimum every single time that cooldown's up. So I do think that there is some hope for this Iceborn comp, and if they are able to execute the Azir, obviously he's going to do Azir's things and do tons of damage in the late game. So I think if this game goes to 40 minutes plus, I'm giving it to Iceborn. Just a matter of if they can get there.
All right. Well, we'll see if Iceborn can make it happen. They've got potential scaling tools. They have that powerful Kindred, that powerful Azir, even the Bard with that scaling option. But they're playing into a very dangerous early to mid game composition coming out from Mint. So, we are going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be in on the Rift for game one with hopefully no more delays. Surely, right? Surely we won't have any more delays. I'm knocking on my wooden desk to hopefully make sure that we have no more delays tonight. We will see you when we get back in on the Rift in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are on the Rift for game one of our series tonight between Mint and Ice. The Toilet Bowl, as some people have been calling it. Couple of kind of stanky teams on the Rift right now. We're going to see if they can get some absolutely fresh gameplay for us. I am, once again, Becky Rita. Joining me on the Rift is ADHD, and we have a 5-man ganker spanker squad trying to go into the jungle, get some early vision. We'll get spotted out, but not going to get anything out of that other than an idea of where the Kindred starts, which is honestly, I think, pretty good for them, just to get that info.
Yeah, figuring out where Kindred starts is always a good thing, but just a couple of updates. Apparently, Riot actually decided to update the UI for the better, so if you see Giggle fiddling around with that a little bit, don't mind that. I promise it'll be better in the long run, but for this game, we're figuring it out a bit.
Yeah, after
these teams.
just after so many years, the Spectate client, we get the ability to adjust the minimap without having to open the settings menu. It's truly incredible. Technology is insane. Soon we are going to be able to actually do more than do maybe some more camera angles without having to install a third-party program. Not that it'll make things better, really. Fracture sitting here waiting for something, waiting for Godot, I suppose. I don't know. You will not arrive as per usual. Some pings going down as Nami just takes damage for free, I guess. In the top here, we've got a fight.
Yeah, that is, I feel like that's always going to go Volibear's way, and in this bot lane, I feel like Ashe Nami is, like, among the strongest, like, level 1 duos in the game. Like, both of those champions are very strong at level 1, so I'm surprised that they're not actually winning that harder.
Well,
Bard is pretty decent at level 1, but I don't think Ziggs really does anything.
Yeah, it's very weird that you point that out. Okay, we got skirmish going.
We got fighting going everywhere. Apparently the camera thinks that this bot lane is a little more volatile, as Ashe is going to put out a lot of damage here. Nami pretty much untouched, but both of the bot laners on the side of Ice looking pretty hurt, but they're able to trade back pretty well, and it's relatively even, but with the healing from Nami, I'd say that Mint is probably going to have the better of that trade.
Yeah, and there was a sum trade there. The Maul popped the defensive sum there. As Ionic just going to take a lot of damage there, going to have to limp back the tower. The Ignite has been used by the Bard, so that has been burned down. And this is Electrocute. We don't have any shenanigans going on with, say, the Unsealed Spellbook. This Bard is trying to kill the opponent, which I am always a fan of. No dancing around, just kill the opponent. Always good. So we'll see.
Enough,
yeah.
I was gonna say, funnily enough, Warford and their mother taking Spellbook. Bard actually does still take times even in pro play.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Bard's all about that early game power. And speaking of early game power, the Volibear, we saw on the top side there, that is a full-on kill. Is now the bubbles great from Fracture here. That slow is going to tick down of the Electrocute procs, and both of these bot laners for Mint and Ice are just at no HP, no mana. Everybody's going to have to back out here and reset.
Yeah, sorry, unfortunately I lagged out a bit there, so I missed the kill. Looks like on the top side, Volibear did start with the Aether Wisp, just as we expected, but Lee Sin is going to go in here and probably get the kill on the thing. That was nice! That was a nice one.
That's why we picked Lee Sin, y'all.
Honestly, I wonder if it was actually better that the Bard did complete his recall, or if he was going to get a double kill there. Definitely would have been a highlight for sure. Certainly close, but either way, going to be happy to get the Ziggs there.
And on the stop side, we're kind of seeing the lightning bouncing off of those minions there, interrupting that recall. Ionic getting absolutely pounded up here. It is very unfortunate. Ornn is famously weak, kind of in these earlier stages, especially into these stat check bruisers like the Volibear. So it makes sense that Ionic is going to be struggling a bit here, but the deficit for the Ornn is astronomical. It feels like there's no hope for this Ornn right now. 2 levels down here. 21 is going to have to put on a miracle. We got to fight.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. Ionic Wind is going to go down to the Volibear, basically proxy farming him already with the help of the Kindred up there as well to play up the top lane advantage. Good look from Rex to recognize that, but man, I was wondering if that farm was bugged in the top lane. A little bit of a skirmish in the bot lane here as well. This is looking really, really bad for the top side of Mint.
Oh no, 21, watch out.
That is actually crazy how long it takes to start walking the other way there.
That's a disaster. That's a mark for Kindred.
Yeah. I think he's maybe a little bit flustered by how top lane is going. I can't imagine the comms are super fun right now. So
yeah, we're watching an execution in the top side. It's not good. I feel like if you play top lane, you've been and aren't good at the game like me. You've been Ionic Wind in a solo queue game at some point, and you know what this feels like. You know it's really just a no-hope scenario. Fortunately, Ornn does still have good buttons. Like, Ornn Horn is still a good button to click, regardless of your level, or items, or position in the game. But the fact that currently Ornn is sitting on a Ruby Crystal and a Fairy Charm, although has now bought an item, so hopefully when we see that, okay, we have the bombies finished, so that'll help Ornn out a little bit in terms of just getting the waves moving. But yeah, if you were looking at the gold, you probably saw that Ornn had less gold than either of the supports, which is never good. I know support gold is sometimes a little bit inflated due to those support items, or especially early on. But speaking of dead.
This is a bit of a nice trade on the bot lane here. Really nice satchel placement from Mistake. Not going to be able to clean it up. The Nami is just going to be able to flash out, and that's going to be good enough. But that was a pretty good look. And I don't want to harp on the Ornn too much, because at the end of the day, he got level 6. He's got himself a little bit of farm. He's taken it from, he's managed to stabilize this kind of 40 farm, 50 farm deficit. So if he can just prevent it from getting any worse, which will be hard, there's still a chance for this game to be playable for Mint. They also are able to pick up the dragon on the bot side with the Kindred bait mark on the top. The Asher is going to come through, but there's nobody really able to follow up.
Take that? That was baffling. We are walking into a full mint and we're dead, and we die horribly. Okay, so that was preposterous. We are walking into a full minion wave with nobody nearby. The Maul just trying to get something going. The desperation here at 8 minutes into the game, and Ionic Wind just that dive was, already scripted in advance. As 21 now is limping away, trying to just get literally anything done to make his time down bot lane worthwhile. He gets a kill through.
Nice play from 21. I wonder if they're gonna be able to win this back at the barrier. He's gonna do it. That was actually really nice. 21 is playing pretty well. That was good. I'm impressed.
The ringer coming in here, ring. 21 popping off here on the Lee Sin, but is it going to be enough is the question. The Maul also getting a kill there is very nice. You want, I don't mind Lee Sin getting these kills earlier on, because the guy who's going to help you stabilize the situation you're in is the Lee Sin. Obviously, Ashe getting the kills would be great, because you want her to be able to actually deal damage at some point. But Lee Sin getting this early gold is going to be very nice for 21. It'll help them try and fight back on this Kindred, who has picked up a couple of kills herself, and especially the Volibear in top lane, who has completed the Cosmic Drive already here at 9 minutes 30 seconds. Usually the problem with the Thrift Shop Volibear is that if you don't have the 4,000 gold to build all of the items, you're actually useless. But Daro is so far ahead that is very easily getting the 4,000 gold to build all these items that you need on this particular weird AP Volibear build. Yeah, it's not looking. Idara's in a great position. Rex putting himself in a good position. Mid lane, who cares? We have just two mages looking at each other, thinking about their lives, I suppose. The bot lane, I think, is where we're gonna see the most volatility, and I think that's probably what Mint should focus on, just trying to get them all something going.
Yeah, a little bit of a fight here on the bot lane, but Rexcat is here. The Bard ult is going to buy him some time. Leeson is here as well. Yeah, the first one is going to go down as the kick is going to come through and put an end to that one. At the end of the day, it's going to be a freebie for Ice. Both teams committing quite a lot there. The Dragon is coming up in about a minute, so I think most of those cooldowns should be back in time for that. So kind of no harm, no foul for on the side of Ice. That Bard ult's going to be back. And I want to see them push this wave out and then reset for this Dragon, which it looks like they're going to do.
Yep, gonna push that in. Ionic just dinging 8 here. 21, not scared at all.
Okay.
Ziggs just killed themselves, by the way, y'all.
Yeah, I was a little confused there. I was like, oh, we got bumped back. That was a nice satchel from Lee Sin.
Yeah, that the Lee Sin satchel. That was actually the delayed kick. All right, we saw the Lee Sin kick earlier. That was actually traveling through time, and now we saw
that
the
insect before.
yeah, that's what we call the super insect. As Fracture is going to die horribly. Recall not interrupted.
I love how Ash just completes the recall and says sorry, bud. I think that's probably wise. I think he probably goes down in the end there. I do want to point out some items here. Kindred has led with the Collector. I am not really a Kindred aficionado, so I'm not going to question it. I feel like usually, though, I see like more Triforce and stuff like that, or Kraken. But he's pretty fed, so maybe this is just the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, lethality is always good to just accelerate, so I can see the vision. You might build Collector eventually anyways on Kindred, so just getting it early to try and accelerate a lead may not be a bad idea, as we get the dive here on to Darrow, shutting down that Bali Bear. Gonna try and get some damage onto that turret as well, but the Maul is gonna get in danger.
Yeah, a nice dive here, actually. That was really well executed. The Bard ult onto the turret, plus the follow-up, it was a really nice one. And one funny thing I want to point out, did anybody else see the Vigar ult hit the Bali Bear shield there?
Yep.
Like nothing. That was very goofy looking, but it doesn't matter. It's just for fun.
He'll do damage eventually, y'all.
Yeah. Ice is gonna pick up that Dragon in the meantime, while all this goofiness is going on. A little bit of an invade from Lee Sin on Kindred here. I'm surprised the spectators isn't showing that, because it looks like the fight in the bot lane might be a little more lethal here. We'll see what Archer is able to clamp on the back end here. The Bart Q is going to connect onto the Ornn, but I think this one is done.
Yep, gonna disengage there. Just moving back, we do have nothing really coming up soon. There is what may or may not be a real Kindred mark on the map, but it's in a pretty bad spot for Rex to go. Hey, all right, we're just. Why is Ash up here?
Yeah, a little bit of a lane swap. We'll see if these two were able to get it done against the Bali Bear. It's not looking good. The Flash is still going to get connected with from the Bali Bear Q. I think 21 is probably going to go down on the back end here. Lee Sin is decently strong, but the Q is going to hit the minion, and yeah. Look, fighting against top laners like this, man.
So we have Ash, who is level 8, made of wet tissue paper, and at no HP, and we put her under tower against Bali Bear. What do you think is gonna happen? What is the thought process? You're gonna get your ass dove. You gotta have somebody else up there with the Ash. Why? I mean, I know the Nami is. I don't even know where the Nami was. I'm gonna be real. I don't fully understand the machinations of that particular play. The fact it almost panned out okay, just because the Maul was kiting pretty well into the Volibear. But yeah, the Kindred has enough damage that even with 21 being able to punch a couple holes into the enemy, it's just not enough. As Ionic gets to, I guess, feel a little bit less pressured in this bot side, as Darrow is in danger.
Yeah, he might actually live here, believe it or not. Yeah, that Ash Arrow is gonna whiff, so they're gonna have to commit a lot to get him here. The Lee Sin Q is gonna miss too, so he is just gonna walk that out. That is a fast bear with this build. It is one thing that I do think is interesting too about the Volibear build is I do think this build sucks jungle, but top lane I think it's actually much better because you're there to like constantly harass the other guy. You're actually able to take advantage of the fact that you can just constantly fight, whereas in the jungle you're sort of just like team fights where it's not as good. But Rexcat is definitely going to be able to clean up 21 here as he is going to go down. Lee Sin gets a little bit over aggressive there. I just don't think that anything on that side of the map is really his at this point. I get that he's like trying to look for something, but maybe set up some vision for this Herald, but just nothing is theirs.
Yeah, 21 is trying to be a superhero in a game where the city has already been destroyed. Looking at the marks, it's 6 marks on Kindred at 15, 16 minutes. It's pretty bad. Archer, it does get flash blown there. Good stuff from Rept and Ionic to make that happen. Although it did require Ornn ulti, so that button will not be available for this next Drake, I believe, if my math is correct, and it probably isn't. The cage is going there.
Rex is going to get a little bit over aggressive here, and he is going to get connected with from that Nami bubble, but at the end of the day, it's not going to do much as the ult fails to connect, and they're just going to be able to walk this out. That felt like that was a huge overextension from Ice that they are just able to walk out of somehow. I guess it's just wall of diff or something. But that seemed like they were in a horrible position. I thought Min had him there.
They were in a horrible position. The big problem is that Rep decided to throw his baby cage down to stun himself and also stun me. I don't know. Well, I know the range is really short on that ability, but if you're not in range, just don't click. Just don't click it. Just hold it and wait. It's not like landing the baby cage is. I mean, I love clicking the button. I'm a button gamer. As Archer is dead.
A nice little combo.
Wait.
They have burned a lot here.
They
20 wants to take it. Oh man, I know Rept is not happy about that one.
I would
Lee Sin gets it.
Yeah, at this point, we don't need to give Lee Sin any more gold. He's fine, y'all. Please, just we need to like funnel a win condition that we do not have at all.
Yeah, Lee Sin's gonna look for the Sincere, but he's gonna get shuffled out. Meanwhile, on the top side, Nami is gonna get pounded by the Volibear. Bard is trying to fight his way out. Darrow is just gonna be able to clean this up. I don't think there's any way that Mint gets out of this one. Rex is gonna get engaged on by the 21. And it looks like he's going to get saved for now. The turret is doing a little bit of work, but it's just a disaster. Yeah, Ice is going to clean this one up easy, and that's going to be a drag for them too.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that Mint is probably thinking about is they're mad at Giggle for changing the rules so you can't FF mid-series anymore. That I think is, you know, the way out of this game. It's looking pretty doomed. I don't want to be I got to try and think of a potential scenario in which Mint can try and win, but as we were kind of talking about in the pregame, Ice's comp will end up doing more, like in theory, would always end up doing more damage than Mint's. And this is not theory, this is practice, where we have the Ice composition with Rex super accelerated on this Kindred. Mike Wee Wee is doing fine, has a couple of good items on the Azir. Darrow is super accelerated. So this Ice composition has hit the points that we expected them to hit a lot later, and now it's just Mint on their lonesome here. No gold anywhere on the map for them. Nearly 10,000 down this game. The most, I guess, fed member is that Lee Sin, but we're getting to the point where Lee Sin just falls off just a ginormous cliff, especially compared to some of these other champs. As 21 is going to go gold.
For right now, he has 2 items, though. I actually like 21's odds. This should be against Rex. This is good. The flash is a little bit premature from Rex, so the kick is going to be well aimed. That's a really good one from. And 21 is going to make it happen for now, but I don't think that Ornn is long for this world, or 21. Both of them are going to go down in the end here. However, it looked really cool, so that is kind of the goal of Lee Sin. So in some sense, that was a win, right? Like, I mean, that was a fantastic looking play.
Oh man, I would like to formally apologize to the Legends Franchise Association community for suggesting we watch this game. That's just, oh boy.
It's only
Yeah, I mean,
11K.
it looked cool. It looked cool. I will say, 21 was kind of sick with it and has been kind of sick with it this whole game. The rest of the team is just like deathly ill is the problem. It really just feels like the melee Ash into the indirect scat. I know the Maul is just trying to make literally anything happen. It's pure desperation here for Mint to try and get some numbers on the board. They're so far behind that they're really the best hope they have is 21 just cheesing. Speaking of, we got cheese right here. Can you smell it?
They are cooking with this one, but the ult goes down in time. Bard is going to be able to stall. This might actually be playable.
No, y'all.
Oh my god, they are going to go down to the end. I thought he was going to get out. That was actually pretty well played for both of them. The collapse is here, though, and I think they're going to get 3 for their trouble. I don't think there's any way that they're all getting out of this. Darrow is for sure going to get at least one. Or not. The flashes are going to save them for now, but the ult is going to go in, and he's going to get one right off the bat. Number 2 is soon to follow. Do we have number 3? Volibear's going next. Meanwhile, Azir getting a solo kill in the mid lane. This is going to be number 3 for the Volibear, too. Surely Ziggs is going to be a homie and hand it over. One last little bit, and I think we're going to get it eventually. I stopped talking there because there it is. There it is. 2 delayed for the triple on the scoreboard, but they are going to send a little bit of a message to Rex that it's not that free. They are going to get him at least once, and I will give Mint some credit. I think I might know what their strategy is. They just have to make Ice feel like they're having a fun game, so they delay it long enough. Because at the end of this game, Rex is having a celebratory drink. So if they can stall long enough, if they can stall long enough by game 3, he may be incapacitated. I think there's a real strategy. I think there's a real strategy in the cooking here for Mint.
I like the strategy. The ice is are the rocks we're pouring our whiskey on this game, I suppose. Yeah. The goal is to make sure that Ice is fully inebriated by game 3. So we just have to get him to start drinking so it can, process in their system. Then by game 2, we can turn it around in the end game, and game 3 we can just win it. This is called next level gaming. This is the kind of play you only get here in the Legends Franchise Association, where it's not just about the play on the Rift, it's the play off the Rift. This Rexcat is going to get arrowed.
Yeah, the Azir ult is going to save him for now. That was a pretty nice one. He is stuck in this cage, though, and I think he's going to go down to the ton of CC that we have there. The Vicar ult is going to finish him off. Somehow Mint has actually found a play here. We'll see if they're able to run him down the wall here. This is the flanking Ashe. I hope you're ready for it. Bard is going into 5. He's sending a message. He's in there, and he's getting it done. 1 down as the dragon comes up. 2 down, actually. Mint is going to get this one.
Yeah, Mint find a breath of life right here, as they are able. They do end up losing that top inner turret, but who cares at this point? They got a couple of kills, the Drake, and most importantly, we
don't even care about that, Becky. Mint is slashing that gold lead down to 9K, a 2K victory for Mint.
Me cutting the deficit of my student debt by getting a $20 bill. It's just I win $20 on scratchers. I'm like, yes, my debts are paid off now. It's awesome. Yeah. It's definitely a win, if nothing else, for the confidence of the Mint Gaming team to get a successful play this game. That can hopefully snowball into the next game where we aren't completely mentally boomed. We can get a fresh start in game 2. Kindred's off the table. Volibear's off the table. We don't have to worry about these absolute cheeser champions. We can play some good, honest League of Legends. But Mint have at least started to delay it. I don't know if they even can still theoretically win, it would require an astronomical throw from Ice, which might be just the funniest possible outcome for this game. If Ice find a way to lose this, I think if you're Rex and you lose this game at this point, you just like go dark. You leave the Discord never to be seen again. Begin meditation in Nepal. We're checking this.
Oh no.
Ooh, fracture.
Yeah, okay, the fight is going to happen here. Bard is going to be taken out immediately by this Bughour, who is doing a lot of damage at this point. They're also going to find another on... Like, this is a close fight.
Darrow's splitting, though. It's a...
Yeah, that explains how the fight was somewhat close. Yeah, Darrow is going to take an inhib. They are going to get a couple of kills there, which they need. Rexcat is going to clean up another one, though, and that's going to make it not worthwhile. I think Volibear wins this, by the way. Here comes
Volibear absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Smashes.
I think the turret is going to be enough to save the Ornn for now, but this Volibear does do a ton of damage, and he is absolutely invincible. Yeah, maybe it's not. He is... I mean, there's a Cosmic Drive in his inventory and a Proto Belt, and he just takes no damage. What am I looking at?
This is the game that is the reason Volibear has been nerfed so many patches in a row. This is why. Because, and I agree with you what you said earlier about this build being absolutely awful in jungle. That's the reason I don't like it. It's because I keep seeing it built on jungle Volibear, where you just don't have the money to make it happen. But in top lane, especially in this game, Volibear is absolutely swagged out of his mind. Just no worries about income in this game. The trust fund really paid out here for Darrow this game, as has everything in pocket. The 2 AP items now into that Dead Man's finish the Spirit Visage. The healing shielding from this Volibear is going to be ridiculous. I don't necessarily know how... I've been asking this for a while. I'm not sure we kill Volibear in, like, any scenario. And we can't even, like, afford to, because we don't want to spend our time hitting Volibear when Kindred one-shots us. So, Vhagar has to choose very carefully which champion he dumps his entire round of spells into, as Darrow's just going to try and 1v3 now.
Yeah, he's actually just out of there with the ult. They do get the ult out of him, but Ice is going to be able to push bot lane here, so he's done his job. Like, that's all he wanted to do. This wave is going to crash. The inhib's already down, so Volibear is going to be able to push this last bit in, and this is surely the end of the game here. As Volibear is just going to absolutely demolish that turret. Nami is coming, but it's not going to be enough. They're all just kind of spread out, running around randomly. The Maul is going to get super chunked out by the Kindred, then gets exalted. And yeah, Ionic Wind is just tanky enough to buy enough time for Rep to execute the Bard, which is good. We do have a 4v5 temporarily, but I don't think it's going to last for long, as the Maul is doing his best, but that is not enough right now, as these minions are just going to demolish these turrets, and they're just kind of waiting in Fountain. This is the soft FF. We're not allowed the real one anymore, so
yeah,
they're gonna have to settle for that.
we in the business call this quiet quitting, as Mint have left the game spiritually, if not physically. A pretty dominant win from Ice there. I don't think that was particularly close.
Yeah, if I've learned anything from my days in amateur league, don't put money on Mint, man. We put our money on Mints and we got completely burned for it. Like I don't know how many times I have to be taught this lesson, but here we are once again.
The real problem was that I made a prediction that aligned with yours, so it just made your prediction incorrect. I can't believe I leave casting for however long. I show up to do one series and I'm still forever incorrect in my predictions. I don't know how this keeps happening to me. But here we are again. Mint have managed to find a difficult game here. The comp looked decent in draft, but the execution just was not there. The Volibear completely shutting out the Ornn, making it a 4v5 functionally. From that point, I don't know how Mint plays the game.
Yeah, it was a tough matchup. To his credit, I will say he did get dove twice, and he only actually had 3 deaths at like 15 minutes, which, considering, I mean, that's something. That's weak siding a little bit. He went down a ton of farm, but he only actually got solo killed once, I think. The other ones were all turret dives, so it's kind of
Yeah.
a little bit of the just play safe meme for sure, but also like, I mean, 40 farm down at 5 minutes is kind of a toughie. But next game, they're not gonna have to worry about that matchup. That's why we love Fearless. We're gonna have to have a real bot lane against them all this time. I know that he tends to do better against bot lanes that actually fight him, if he's to be believed. So I think the next game we might have a little bit better odds.
Yeah, next game we're gonna get Aphelios, right? Smile.
Surely.
Yeah, Aphelios. It's gonna be the Aphelios angle.
KMZ's Alistar is coming in to save the day.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking some good stuff. All right.
That might be forbidden.
that might literally be forbidden. Well, we'll see what forbidden technology Mint will have for us in game 2 as we go to a break to set up for that match. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everybody. We are here in the draft, hot dropping in as Ice continues to face off against Mint. Ice currently up a game, Mint having to collect themselves and try and find a fresh new take in this match to see if they can turn the tides here and flip the series around. If we're going for the alt win con currently cooking in the livers of Ice, we'll see if that can pay out for them. But, you know, looking at the real game being played, Mint have just decided we're just banning top laners. That's insane.
That was a poorly executed delay from Mint. I don't even think Rex had time to get a drink.
Oh no,
that was a quick one, but that is just completely insulting. Those top laners. If I was Ice's top laner, I would be pissed. I would be, or I mean, mid's top laner, I would be pissed. That's just no respect at all. That's crazy. The Graves lock in for Rex is a classic. Uh, we'll see what's going to get locked in. Wukong, I think, is pretty good into Graves. I don't think Graves likes that at all, so I'm going to assume that's jungle. But yeah, interesting strategy coming out from the mid boys.
Yeah, it is certainly an interesting strategy there. The Wukong is, I'm not gonna say it's a flex. Metro is not in this game, so we're not gonna see Wukong going anywhere funky. As we do have the Mel now will be locked in here for Mint, but the Malcolm, B1 Malcolm for Rex. Game one, the strategy was we're gonna give Rex a carry and just try and win the game that way. Game two, same strategy. I worked game one. I don't see any reason why we can't run it back unless Mint have something in the pocket to try and flip that around. Is we're just picking weird champions. We're just picking some absolutely buck wild champions. Nico, not too insane, relatively speaking, but is certainly a fascinating choice. Not sure if that's going to go into mid or support quite yet. Waiting to see what Ice do here.
I think Nico is actually pretty good with Graves. I think Nico is like very busted support. If you can play it, especially with the Corki, seeing the Corki makes me almost sure that that's support. Nico Corki is definitely a bot lane that we've seen a lot in pro play. But a champion we haven't seen at all in pro play is Mel. I don't even see that champion solo queue anymore. That champion is like dead. I can't even remember the last time I saw it. I know that there's a few people in this league that still play it. Seems to be one of those champions that some people have a preference for, but I personally haven't seen it in a really long time. Xin gonna be a champion that I've seen a lot of though, and I'm sure we're all gonna think of it at this point. At least they gave him the visual update. He looks cooler now.
He does look cooler. He doesn't look like a champion from 1,000 years ago. He looks a little bit more modern. As we do have, I guess this I was saying Volibear. There's no way Volibear's going jungle, but I get it's unless it's like Xin top. I know there's been some rumblings of a laning Xin Zhao. I feel like that's the most copium you've ever seen. Ice, can we actually remove this team from the league for banning the Aphelios? That's messed up. He's not even gonna pick it. He's never gonna pick this Aphelios champion. You're gonna ban it for no reason, just to hurt us.
No. Becky, you're not a knower. You're not a knower. You know how Metro has the flow chart?
Yes.
We'll show them all. Has the flow chart too. It's just if game one goes really bad, you can be certain that game two is going to be Aphelios or Twitch or Jinx or something like that, where it's just like the most hard carry champion imaginable because all the faith is lost. I've seen this 100 times before, so yeah, I think we're going to see something like that.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. The Malzahar, so that means we have Mel support, Mel AP carry. We are being informed by our producer that it could be Malzahar top lane, which is a very troubling thing to hear for me, like emotionally and spiritually. I don't like to hear that one. Oh, and there's Smudler. It gets worse, y'all. I mean, this could be Smudler. Like, I mean, if we're picking Malzahar top, who cares? Just put Smudler up top lane too. Whatever. As the Galley, there are so many flex champions this game. I feel like we're not gonna know anything about these roles until we get into draft. Like, I think the one thing I'm certain of is that Graves is going jungle. That's the one thing I'm certain of this game. Everything else, I have no... Kiana in this scenario? Don't you dare! Okay, alright. Tristana will be closing that out, which it still doesn't reveal anything because it could be Tristana mid, theoretically. This is insane. This is unhinged.
Hopefully you can hear me now. I don't can't,
I can hear you
but
now,
if you can,
and now I can't. Uh-oh. Uh, well, so it's just me right now. In which case, man, this is spaghetti at the wall if I've ever seen it for a draft, where we've loaded our shotgun full of just champions and we fired it, and we're just gonna play wherever they land. It's the butthole roulette of draft right now, as I have genuinely no idea where most of these champions are going, because there are so many possible options and there's nothing that's clear to me. Uh Aside from, again, I'm pretty sure that Graves is going jungle. And even then, theoretically Nico can jungle. And I don't want to see lane Malcolm going into the lane. I don't want to see it. I don't think that that's something that's real. I think Rex is going to play the Graves. Everything else, just no clue. Absolutely no clue. I think you're back.
yeah, I think I'm back too. I saw the Malzahar lock in and my internet just decided it was done.
Yeah. Do you believe in Malzahar top lane?
Couldn't
Is
handle
that
it.
real?
Needed to be censored. So hopefully it's working. Malzahar top?
Yeah, do you believe it? Is that real?
No. No, I don't think that's
No?
good at all. I think that's terrible.
I would agree.
uh,
Apparently it's possible, which I think is unsettling.
I think maybe you can pick like things like Malzahar and Cassiopeia into like tanks where they just can't like really threaten you and you can just kind of scale up. Use your like high single target DPS to like harass them in lane or something, but I don't think that's what we is this a smolder top? Is that what we think it is?
I I feel the smolder top is a response. You see, that's actually like the four-dimensional chess being played out. Is we blind the Malzahar as a flex, and then when they reveal the smolder top lane, then we can send the Malzahar top lane. And I actually don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know. I feel like I feel Smolder's actually probably okay with that, all things considered.
Yeah,
I don't know if Mal's can really pressure Smolder at all, aside from the junglers showing up. And oh my god Christ. This is insane. I'm so actually this was the best decision we could have made to look at this. Where's Xin going? There was a Xin in this game, by the way.
wait, what is support?
Xin
Zinzao support?
support with Mel?
Nah, dog. Nah. Nah. This is this is not this is not real. I'm being
I
punked. I'm being punked.
no,
You know what's
no,
really funny? You know what?
no.
Those are tears of joy. He's missed it. He's missed the joy of Draft League.
I've been I have no words. I genuinely like don't know what to say.
I'm really glad that we're being introduced to Zinzal support today, so that Fly it in preparation for tonight.
Oh, so true. That's actually the crazy part. Is that's true? Oh my
I think I
I
think I might rather Zinzal support than Mel. I'm gonna be honest. So
I would agree.
yeah, like Mel support has got to be one of the
Yeah, Mel support is
in the game. It
atrocious.
is awful, truly terrible. Does nothing. So Zinzal at least can like press R and peel, kind of runs well. I think.
Oh,
What
and
do you think
I
he's gonna
think
build? Do you think he's gonna
the
be
I don't
Undersky?
even want to know. I think the saddest part is that Zinja support loses to Nico support. The Nico Zinja support matchup.
You know what? You
I
know what's crazy? Okay. Picture these two comps like going at it, right? Like how does the comp
Yeah, the
actually, or how does the Iceborn comp actually go into the mid comp, right? Engage is like Nico proto building in with ult and Galio on top. If Zinzao just ults, like the whole engage is just cooked. They got a bunch of ranged champions like that. I'm just saying, like they might have cooked here.
I I don't even want to make a prediction. I'm gonna believe in what Mint has planned. I think that Mint knows something I don't. They have some forbidden knowledge that I just don't have because I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. My bitch is not bad enough. My swag is not different. I can never even in any timeline comprehend what's happening. And that means that they're going to win this game. Uh that's all I can say here. I have no idea.
You heard it here first. I think with that, we are going to go to a break, so we can take a little bit of time to bring our heads back together from what we just witnessed, because this is going to be an interesting one.
scientifically concocted to create the best possible gameplay experience. I am Becky Rita. With me again is ADHD, as we have Mint trying to turn their unfortunate game one loss into a game to win with a composition that is what some would call avant-garde.
Yeah. Okay. Here's how we're gonna look at this. Individual or as a whole, when you look at this comp, it looks terrible. But look at the individual lanes. You got Wukong into Graves, which I think is pretty good. I don't think I would want to play Graves into Wukong. You got Tristana into Galio, which is among the best matchups you can have into Galio. I think
agree.
That's excellent. Uh, you got the Corki Nico that are gonna like push and harass most traditional ADCs. So instead, you pick the Xin Zhao Mel to just beat them up. We're gonna forget about what we just saw on screen and pretend that they're gonna be able to fight into this double ranged lane. I think that the Mel harass has potential to fight here. I don't know about the top lane though. I'm gonna give it to Darrow just because of last game, but I don't actually know how that matchup goes, and I don't think anyone does, these two players included.
Yeah, I will say, as somebody who enjoys a little bit of Malzahar from time to time, Malzahar is a champion that kind of just doesn't want to interact necessarily. Like, it's good to get poke in if you can get your Malefic Visions to bounce onto your opponent. You can kind of, if the Visions go, like, chain to your opponent, you drop your Call of the Void, you throw out your Voidlings, and just try and get a little bit of chip damage in here and there. But Malzahar is not going to be doing the kind of pressure that really shuts Smolder down. So I feel like, theoretically, Smolder is going to have a very easy time just sitting in the lane, farming up, stacking up, not really concerned with anything. I guess the biggest drawback is Darrow may not get as many hits on to Ionic Wind, as Fracture's looking for something.
Yeah, a bit of a nice engage here. I think that the Q is not going to connect onto the person he wanted, though. I think he wanted the Corki there. So the Xin Zhao is just going to end up losing a lot of his health and his flash, kind of for nothing there. It sucks a little bit, because I think, like, if Xin Zhao isn't strong at this point in the game, when is he strong? So I'm a little concerned about that one, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a little concerning, as Fracture will not get spotted completing that recall there. Just dipping out, so everything's a-okay, as the Maul on their lonesome down here is they're just gonna take 1,000 damage, and
yeah,
that
this
was
wave is crashing too. Ooh,
that was ill-advised. I think I don't know, man.
All right, I want to. The jungler in me wants to point something out to all of you. When you see these like incredibly volatile like double range matchups top, right? Like if you're playing against a Vayne top, typically what you want to do as a jungler is you want to path to that lane, because like whoever gets the first blood is probably just going to win the rest of the game, because these champions have to overextend to do anything. The fact that Rex is pathing up there for his first clear is a really solid sign that he at least understands that there's like some semblance of an idea of what's going on. I don't like the 21 chose to path bot instead. Maybe he's just trying to play towards the Xin Zhao, which is valid if that's the case. I just feel like he needs to be this Wukong needs to be pathing top. It basically is what needs to be happening, because I don't think there's any way that this Malzahar is going to be in any kind of favorable position without jungle assistance.
Yeah, especially considering the just the laning deficit we saw last game. In a more evened out matchup, I'm not sure if Ionic has the gumption to really make it happen, just kind of player wise. But you know, it also just feels like Malzahar should set up better for 21. Granted, Malzahar does need to have the level 6 to make it a guaranteed kill. But once that level 6 is there, it should be fairly straightforward to at least, you know, aggro and try and just keep the Smudler down. But yeah, I see the theory behind 21 pathing bot, because supposedly you can make something happen with the Xin Zhao support, but I don't know. Like you said, in the double range, especially with Nico, whose peel is all. I mean, the Nico's root is a crazy button. It's just a good ability that shuts down a lot of stuff immediately. Especially these kind of melee champs like the Xin Zhao and the Wukong. So it feels like pathing bot just is difficult, as I've successfully talked enough for the pause to be over. We're likely still going to get a super special epic frame that we get to watch as Fracture takes 1,000 damage.
Yeah, it just seems like he keeps going in, and it's just like bad every time. Like he just gets Corky Gatland every time. To be fair, like he's Xin Zhao. I mean, what else can he do, right? Like
it's almost like this champion
straight at them. Yeah,
it's almost like this champion isn't designed to be in the lane or something, you know, into these range champions. It's almost like Riot has designed this champion to not be in this scenario. Imagine being Xin Zhao's like gameplay designer and just you watching this as the Maul has decided to just use Fox Shine because the button looks cool. And just get shredded as well. This mid bot lane, it's not good. It's bad actually. It's real bad.
Okay, to their credit, I think the Ice bot lane is actually playing this very well.
No, they haven't played.
They're constantly harassing them, constantly pushing them. They understand that their champions are better, if only because they were designed for that lane.
Yeah.
But you know, Mint is having some fun. Wukong is looking for a gank here that is absolutely not going to work.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna back up. Maybe look for this drag would be the better option, but doesn't really have prio for it. So
yeah, we're gonna awkwardly shuffle back and forth, wasting as much time as possible, not making any decisions. And then by the time we decide to make a decision, Malcolm will be down there to counter gank, and we get 3-0'd. Here it goes.
Oh no, I don't like this at all. Honestly, yeah. That was pure desperation. That was the like, I've been here for so long that I gotta do something, because like Graves is just resetting his pathing and he's like a full cycle ahead of me now or something. I don't know, but it's gonna cost him the drag. It's gonna cost him a couple kills. Ice is already over 1k ahead, so it's like a pretty good start for them.
As a color caster, I'm not very good, because there are a lot of things I just don't understand about the game, because I'm just not good at the game. That play was so obvious, like I saw it coming. I fully predicted what was gonna happen there, which is it's one of those things as a jungler where, like you said, it's just desperation. You've committed so much time that it's like, well, I gotta get something out of this, but I mean, there's no reason to go in. If you've got nothing, your camps weren't up. You could just recall. Like, if you recalled there, you just go back and get your camps on top side because they were coming back up. Like, you waste a little bit of time, but you had already fully cleared. And I guess the downside is then you give prio of Dragon over to Ice, but you didn't. There's no way you're getting prio anyways, I feel like. So it just seems like you said, it's desperation, trying to make something happen while you're on that side of the map, but just so much committed, and the HP bars just aren't there for Mint because of how well Archer and I'm reading the Roman numerals here, 17 have been chunking them out in the bot lane. As yeah, Rex just getting a very easy free Drake. 21 still gonna try and trade something back, clearing a couple of camps on the top side, maybe looking for the Grubbins, but Mike Wee Wee is gonna catch that out and make sure that Grubbins doesn't happen, as we got an engage on top.
Yeah, this is the start of something, definitely. Galio is going to be able to buy a lot of time.
Yeah, the start of Mint dying horribly.
Honestly, yeah, 21 is done there. Graves is probably going to be able to clean up the mouse archer here too, but he's going to get at least a flash. Rep is probably going to clean up this Galio as well. That's something. Meanwhile, trading in the bot line too, the action never stops. Until it does. Never mind, the Nico wall comes through. No E to follow up though, and Fracture's just going to be able to walk that out, but the trade of the health bars is definitely in favor of Ice on this one. and I think the Grubs are going to go over to Ice as well. So pretty much a win all around for them.
Yeah, the only thing that Mint was able to get there was that kill onto the Tristana, which is definitively not nothing. I will say, now that we're level 6 here on the Maul, the Mint bot lane is looking a little bit. I mean, their HP is still like at 0, so it's not like if things are going well. But at least the Maul's hitting abilities, so it looks a little bit better. And it's not like absolutely danger disaster territory like it was earlier. There's even like theoretically an opportunity, unless they just walk into the Gatling gun here and die, that they could actually aggress once Fracture gets 6. I don't think you should do that at all, but it is certainly like a theoretical possibility, as Darrow gonna take a little bit of damage. We got the engage.
Okay, the ult is gonna come through. Zinzal actually doing a fair bit of damage here.
Okay.
Maul is gonna be able to clean it up. Yeah, that was a nice little engage. Plus the nice W. Yeah, that's a double kill for the bot lane of Mints. Good awareness of champion damage, I guess. The one thing I will say for the Desperation Gang bot that we were complaining about is that they actually did play it pretty well. They did do a surprising amount of damage. It was just the Graves was obviously there, and they had no health bars to start with. So that time they actually have a little bit of HP to play around with, plus the exhaust. So they're able to get it done and show that there is something. The Zinzal has the free CC into the Mel combo can amount to a decent amount of damage if they're able to get on top of the backline.
Yeah, that was a scenario where I predicted the engage happening once Fracture hit 6, and I just thought I saw the wrong outcome. I didn't respect the Zinzao damage. I don't play the champion because I think I'm the guy who plays Udi or Maokai, and I think Xin Zhao is one of the most boring experiences you can have playing League of Legends. So I'm never playing that guy. 21 is Perish.
Yeah, That is an 0-3 Wukong.
That's like that's what we call bad, actually. That's
I mean, that's tough.
We were talking like I definitely don't like being Graves into champions like the Wukong, because he can just like find you in your jungle and beat your ass, but 21's not really been doing that. So Rex has been able to kind of just move with impunity, and 21's just getting caught out like we saw there. Walking into just not having the vision there, just getting ambushed by Rex and 17. So not really a whole lot to be done, as Darrow's going to try and find something, but Rep may have something. They set up something.
Trading pretty well. The Galio ult is going to save him for now. Yeah, that's going to be a decent look from Mint there, but the Galio roam is going to dissuade anything more from happening. There's still a little bit of skirmishing, but I think this one's definitely done. I'm not really sure what they're fighting over. There's really nothing here. Yeah, so that one's a little bit goofy. Look at this because there's nothing really there. But I will say, Ionic Wind is looking a lot better this game.
Yes.
Obviously you don't want to be down a farm to the Smolder, but it's considerably better than what we were seeing last game.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a Heimerdinger one trick, you're kind of just you're limited to playing just whatever you feel, whatever kind of makes sense. We're down 1,000 gold, but don't worry about that, okay? It doesn't actually matter, because like with Ornn, we just have to hit the R key. Unlike with Ornn, the R key only affects a single opponent, and it can be canceled by Galio walking near you menacingly. So it's certainly like less threatening than the Ornn, but like you said, Ionic playing a lot better this game, showing more signs of life. Does have that Blackfire Torch finish. Same with the Maul also having the Blackfire Torch finish. Lacking though, as we see that Malcolm has finished that first item on the Ghost Blade, has had that for a while. 21, however, going for that what I assume is Triforce.
Yeah.
Getting that Triforce, but Triforce super expensive. Being shut down this early is just going to leave them in the lurches here, as Fracture going to get some lightning out, but not going to become wind to make anything more of that, as we got a skirmish establishing here.
Rexcat is doing a lot of damage to 21 here. I will say, I'll give you a little bit of Wukong knowledge as somebody that has played and lost on it a lot. But hold on, Ionic Wind is able to get out of this one with the canceled ult. Able to dodge the Smolder ult for now. But as I was saying, when you're playing Wukong, I'm just telling my team, I'm like, I'm not doing anything until I have Triforce and ult. He really needs those two things. Once you have those, he's a very strong champ. But before that, he just kind of like exists and farms slowly. He's very weak, but mid to late game, he's quite strong. So being put behind like this is just miserable because you really need that item to be able to do anything, and he's just continuously harassing the jungle. But the fight bot is gonna look decent. The Nico ult onto 2 is probably gonna be enough to get the small win for Ice. It's a 2-for-1 at the end of the day.
At the very least, the Maul was able to get that ulti down. Fracture, once again, doing a surprising amount of damage with the Xin Zhao there, combined with the Mel. The Eclipse Rush support Xin Zhao.
I was trying not to look. I was.
Clip. We think we're Pike? Is that what's going on? And Pike doesn't even build that item. Why do? I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it. There are more things to talk about than Eclipse Rush Xin Zhao because it is doing quite a bit of damage. But I mean, the numbers there were obviously going to be tipped in favor of Ice because Rex showed up. But even then, the Nico ulti, I think, just sealed the fate of that duo, like you said. With the Maul and Fracture both locked up by that, Corki very easily able to just take them both down with the Gatling gun and several auto attacks with that Triforce as well. Speaking of Triforce, 21 has now completed the Triforce, so Wukong is in the game finally. At 15 minutes, Wukong has connected. We will see if 21 can make anything happen with that. Rex gonna aggro here with Darrow.
That Graves damage is crazy. I think this dive is gonna continue. The ult is gonna whip, but we'll see if this Q is able to clean it up. He's able to get it done for now. The exhaust is gonna buy a lot of time, and the Galio ult over the top. Plus, in the bot lane, we're gonna see we'll show them all get solo killed. Tristana on the chase, but I don't think she's gonna be able to catch Archer here. I think he's just out. The level lead for Tristana is gonna mean that she's gonna win this in the long run. But hold up, the Corki is doing a ton of damage. Maybe the Triforce is just too good. It's close.
Going up. Ooh.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
If Rep died there, I think that's like the mental collapse. It's the mental like equilibrium. We've reached past the point of no return.
We might have found out. We might have found out what the discipline is for FFing early. What is the discipline for that?
Yeah, Rept has managed to not die there, getting that kill, but the rest of Mint is not nearly so lucky. Just so much damage from the Graves, like you saw there, even whiffing the collateral damage, pumping out so much crazy DPS. The exhaust did a decent amount to try and cut that out. But by the time the exhaust, ran its course, the rest of Ice had already arrived, and the rest of Mint was already so low that it was not even gonna make that much of a difference. So the rest of Ice is able to just very easily clean that one up as Archer tries to go for that kill on to Rept, nearly gets it with the barrier, but unfortunately, the level lead has helped Tristana out there to be able to survive. I think if that was on even level, maybe Tristana still gets that just because of the little bit of extra burst. Corki was out of buttons to hit. But speaking of buttons,
it's that Zinzal burst. 1/16 of his health bar. It's down. The W is going to clean it up, and that's going to be it for now. The Graves is able to shut down. We'll show them all. With his now 3-3 scoreline. The Nico double E is going to connect. The ult is going to buy a little bit of time, and I think the Smolder might be able to do a little bit of damage, but he's not going to be able to actually kill anybody. This is looking like a win for Mint.
We have Elder already?
Smolder. Wait, we actually do at 18 minutes.
What?
Can we get snack check Giggle? Is that possible?
Not yet. Smudler has to respond. Oh, never mind. No, we have the technology. We're at past 225.
Oh my god, I didn't even think to look at it yet.
I usually don't check until like 25 minutes.
Bro, that's
I saw the
fastest. That has got to be the fastest I've ever seen. Like in pro play, the standard is like 21,
no.
And they
if you read the chat, you've discovered what happens. Malzahar expert to the moon esports. has
Yeah,
revealed the secret.
That's mean.
Val's
That's
W.
mean.
The Voidlings stack Smolder. I'm gonna cry.
Wait,
I'm
with the
actually
W, with the
sobbing.
W too, not just the Q.
No, yeah, it's
So
this. It's the Mal's Voidlings. You can stack off of them.
wow, that is insane. That is crazy.
That's tragic. I did not know that. Oh, this
So
was
this
a
was-
horrible matchup.
Yeah, this was a
terrible.
very intentional pick. I think he knew that and we didn't.
Yeah, see.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, the Zinzal burst actually is pretty real on the Nico. Do about 70% of damage there, but the fight is going to continue. Gonna have to flash away for the Galio W for
Anyone
now.
got that? Anyone
Yeah.
got that?
Somehow
Oh.
we were too busy getting distracted by the insane stacking of the Smolder. Zinzal's going to do a fair bit of damage onto the Smolder. He's going to be forced out for now, but he does actually land that kill somehow, and he's able to have enough HP to follow up onto this Grace too. He's going to do his job. The Wukong ult comes through. We'll see if he's able to get this Corki. I think he might be able to. He clones the wrong way though and still gets connected with on the Nico ult. That is going to be tough. He's going to go down on the back end here, but honestly, this is like a decent fight from Mint, I would say. Well, it doesn't look like Rept is going to be able to get anything more off of this. I say it's a decent fight, but at the end of the day, they're down 4 as opposed to the 2 on ice, so it is actually bad for them. It's just, I feel like it's been so long since we've seen them do anything that we could even remotely construe as positive that I'm just excited that they're getting kills.
Yeah. 2 kills going over to Mint, getting themselves some money, importantly into players that can hopefully make use of it. Rept still staying alive here, trying to hold the fort as best as possible. The rest of, I mean, Ice can afford to play a little aggressive here, but they don't quite have the gold lead we saw last game. We do have, I shouldn't look at chat. I'm seeing like insane posts made by the utterly deranged going on over there. In any case, the gold lead that Ice have is not nearly as powerful as last game, but the fact that I feel like Ice's champions are kind of just better than last game, with a much more obvious late game power and mid game power that Mint can't really compete with at least right now. But the Tristana is looking pretty good. So if we can see more of that damage come out with Mint, you know, locking the enemies up, both teams are relatively squishy. The tankiest member is, of course, that Galio, but Galio's also not, like, immediately threatened. So you can mostly just ignore him and walk around him and try and kill all of his friends. And as long as you're still alive, you can try and kill Galio. Hopefully you have enough HP to do it. He's the DPS check at the end of the raid. You know, after you've used everything, you gotta try and DPS Galio down before he kills you.
Jake, you're just walking in.
He wandered there. The mall is closed, y'all. He TP'd in. That's quiet quitting if I've seen it. My man is he's protesting the team that he manages. That's
no wonder their mental's bad. Imagine your manager running down your game. Oh, it's cooked. I got a question for you, Becky.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this Ice roster or these games today does not look that much different than the games I've watched previously so far this play. They seem to actually have some decent win cons. It seems like Darrow is pretty reliable top. Rex is doing really well on his champs in the jungle. Maybe what do you think is holding them back? Like why are they losing? The drafts haven't been the best. But hold on, interrupt myself real quick, because Galio is going to take a quick exit. Not a lot he can do there. Just play safe, but yeah. So what do you think it is that's holding this Ice roster back based on what you've seen today?
I do wonder that. I think like the Ice team are going for some definitely kind of next level drafts that in this series have panned out, but we also see a little bit of maybe kind of over aggression, a little bit of you know, fumbling a few plays, but it could just be that some of these other like teams in the league right now are just on average better. I also just I think teams relying on carry junglers and carry top laners are going to be less effective than teams that are carrying around mid or bot lane, just due to the nature of the roles. Like jungle can carry, but you'd much rather have a more stable, Xin Zhao, Wukong, J4 than a guy who's playing carries in jungle. At least in my opinion, but that's me being biased as the guy playing who still believes that Maokai is fair and a good champion and definitely not just cope in the jungle right now.
We actually agree on that one. Maokai's a good jungler. People that say he's bad are not play competitive. He's still very good. This dragon is going to go down to the Wukong though. The ult from 21 is going to connect, but it's not ultimately not going to lead too much. The Galio ult is going to buy a little bit.
Oh my god,
Smudler looking like a sweep
killed
here.
Everyone.
Yeah, there's just too much damage on the side of Ice at this point. Even the immunity from Show Them All is only going to buy him a little bit of time to clean up one. It's gonna be 3-1 left on the map in favor of Ice.
Rept keeping the KDA there, limping away at no HP as the rest of Mint collapses. A great steal from 21 will delay the Dragon Soul, but I don't even think we're getting a Dragon Soul this game, even if Ice had gotten that, just because I feel like we should still get another Drake. I don't know if Ice have the ability to end that quickly, unless they get a Baron here pretty soon, which they definitely can. They're setting themselves up well for it. There's not a lot of vision out on the map. Shoutouts to Fractured, does have higher vision score than last game. They're just unlocked on the Xin Zhao, where second item, of course, following the Eclipse, what do you get? Sundered Sky. Wait, you think we're made of money here in the support role? You think you could just buy items?
Honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like if he just bought like normal support items, it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, since all his healing, like he could even buy redemption. Like it wouldn't be that bad. With the ult, he could be immune for a while. I don't know. Is this their normal support?
Yes.
Giggle can confirm that for me.
Yes, this is the support that they currently have rostered.
Interesting.
Following the tragic helicopter death of Coach Pizza, as Rexcat has killed Rept to death. Unfortunately, not able to maintain that perfect KDA out of this side of the game.
People do die when they are killed, Becky.
Yeah.
They do die when they are killed, and Rept was killed there for his first death. Couldn't even give him that. This is probably a dead. We'll show them all. Yeah.
This is why are we there? So many questions. Why are we here? Why are we there? We're just standing around, and the party's over. We're in a trashed hotel room. We're just kind of like, we're refusing to leave for some reason. It's not good, y'all. It's feeling a little. This is somehow more depressing than last game when we were down 10k gold as Mint. I feel like the deaths we've had here is because there's like hope. Maybe is the problem. Like the Mint team theoretically can do things here, but the damage is just so high on Ice.
Yeah, it's basically tanking us here, but the ult is gonna buy him enough time that he is gonna get out. Okay. It was a good try.
Good attempt. I respect it.
Yep.
That's what I write on. Go ahead.
I asked you what we think went wrong with Ice this year because I don't think I need to ask what's wrong with Mint right now. It appears that they have a support insistent on playing off meta and a top laner that is only playing AP champs, which is tough to build around, shall we say.
Yeah, the draft seems like a little impossible. It turns out when you spend all of your money on a guy who isn't even on your roster anymore, you end up with a terrible draft. No disrespect, of course, to the Maul, who is currently suffering in the consequences of the draft right now on the Rift here. 5-8. Honestly, like, not looking too horrendous on the Mel, but just some odd positioning going on here. Uh, yeah,
That's
let's
the
take
polite way to put it.
we can take a look at some of the gold differentials here. I mean, what do you say about what do you say about
I'm,
some of
I'm
the
gonna
things
I'm
we're
gonna save
seeing?
I'm gonna save that one for later when I'm watching FlyQuest Liz. I'm not gonna say who just in case somehow somebody doesn't have a spoiler. But
Uh-oh.
but yeah, I'm gonna be saving that for later when I'm justifying the loss. That'll be a good one. Uh,
Yeah.
I think the Galio is. I mean, he's probably not going down here. Actually, the flash.
But
Ult is
we're
committed.
gonna click every button to try and kill him. He's made of titanium, and we are firing like rubber bullets. But like those rubber bullets, like theoretically, we have the execute there. We do end up killing him through the power of persistence. We have to use every ability we own to make it happen. We do kill him, and now we're gonna try and get something.
Yeah, this isn't looking too bad so far. You know, this Intel burst is pretty high.
Why
He's
is Zinchao
doing it.
crazy?
He's doing it. You know what? We were haters. I'm gonna give it. I think the Zinzal might actually be one of the better performers of him. Ironically,
Well,
who do you give it to if not other than Reps? You give Reps the Mint MVP. Who do you give second place to? I think it's the Zinzal.
I think what I want to give Rept here is like a hug. Like I'm so sorry, man. I don't know what else to say. Just, I guess like Fracture is doing better than you would ever expect a Xin support to do. Which is I would expect Xin support to do absolutely nothing. Does it forgive the fact that they basically like surrendered the early game in bot lane for no reason? That's a different question. But currently right now, Mint have managed to push Ice back at least a little bit. They have lost they have not lost an inhib. So their inhibs are open. The gates are open, but no inhibs have been claimed yet. As the Baron will tick out here, and Mint have gotten a lease on life. 330 on the next Drake.
We have been so distracted by how miserable this game feels that neither of us have realized. Look at the gold.
Yeah, the gold is really even. That's the insane thing.
And Graves is going to go down. Like, this game is playable for Mint, despite how terrible it feels. Like, I don't know how that's possible.
I'm not sure I want to win if I'm Mint. Like, even though it's theoretically possible, I don't know if I want to play another. That's why this is why we got rid of the FF rules, because this game feels worse than it actually is. Because of the fact that damage on ice is loaded into Darrow and Rex, who obviously kill you into the stratosphere, but they also can be killed themselves into the stratosphere. So if you are able to do that, there's not really a whole lot of other threat on ice. The Corki's kind of plateaued pretty heavily here as the game's continued, even with these items. The Corki should be doing more damage, just kind of isn't. And of course, this Nico is... The usefulness of the Nico has peaked as well. Will not be getting any stronger or any weaker at this point. Just kind of going to sit there at the same place. So it's really just kind of... Mint, I feel, only have to worry about Darrow and Rexcat. And if they can get a pick on one, like we saw them just do under Rex, it is a very playable game. They just have to somehow, by the grace of God, find a pick onto either of those two champions and then attempt to win a fight with the other still alive. It's difficult. They
have a Tristana. If they can win a fight where Tristana doesn't die, like they could actually potentially
ends the game. Especially because they have top inhib. Mint has taken top inhib at some point. So they have the map. They have the ability to end the game, and 21 is just going in, taking damage for no reason. just shouting a little bit. He's gonna heal out. He's gonna heal out. It's okay. As Ionic no mobility. It could be in a little bit of Rex Cat taking a lot of
Hey,
damage.
this is a nice engage. I think this might be pretty good. Rex is going to go down. Wukong's going to go down too, but we'll take that trade. Galio is going to find Ionic win. Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Oh no. I thought it was a close fight. There's the Xin Zhao going in, but he's just going to die. The Tristana is somehow flanking. Malphite on in is going to get one kill. We'll see if we get the second. There's two. Honestly, a lot of damage from the Tristana. Pretty well played from Rep there. I'll give him the credit. Not playing KDA. He is going for the kill. Doesn't care if he gets another death. He already lost that perfect game. Not a bad play from Mins. Look, they lulled us into a sense of security. So like, maybe this is the real meta strategy. Is you make it look so bad that they forget that they have to actually win. And Ice does seem to have forgotten that they do actually need to destroy the Nexus, because that has not happened yet. They are actually... The code is basically even, and we are going to get that soul that we thought there was no chance.
Gold is even, everyone. Gold is even. Alert, gold is even. Despite how awful this game feels, the gold is even. I cannot believe this is happening. They're Mint. They just need one more good pick, and I think they're in the driver's seat of this game. They're setting up around the Drake here. They have vision out. No vision from Ice. They have that one. They have a couple of wards out, so they can see that this Drake is being taken. They're gonna try and attention from Ice is split. They're not committing to anything. This Drake's just gonna get taken for free, and they're not even on the Baron yet.
This is not good. I would have rather seen them push out the wave and go for the inhib. Instead, they're gonna fumble around here, but I think 21 is going to check this a little prematurely. Oh my god, the Nico ult hits nothing. The
Wait, that's over.
Yeah, Nico is down. I think that this is going to be a Mint Baron. I think that Ice just has to leave here. I want to see Mint keep pushing this advantage. They need to start this Baron. Start it. Right in their face. Force them to fight you. Last week I watched these teams flounder this. Force it. Good job.
Yeah, great. you gotta force this fight here, and we do have the GA on Darrow. Darrow gonna go for the calling Mom here. Will Mom help?
The Baron is gonna go over to mid, but we'll see if Ice is able to clean this up on the back end. The Xin Zhao ult is gonna come down. He's gonna do a ton of damage. Galio is coming out as well. Grace is alive for now, thanks to the Galio. Oh my god, they have escaped with just a sliver of HP. We'll see if the Corki is able to follow this up. There's nothing left.
Oh no.
And that's one down. That's one down. He's not going to find the last one. Graves is just pushing. He's going to get at least one of these in hits, I think.
Tristana, what are we doing? Tristana?
I don't know what is happening here.
Rep, what are you doing? Recall! Rep!
Oh, this is not it. This is not it. Graves.
What? Why is Malcolm dead?
That's an inhib, though.
No, we're jumping in! They have DA, you fool!
No.
How are we killing them?
It was so close.
The Baron is all gone, y'all. The Baron has...
Becky, you got nothing to apologize for. This was the right choice.
No, this was the right choice. This absolutely was the right choice.
This is the good one.
Holy guacamole. The gold is still even, by the way. The gold is still even, y'all.
I love League of Legends.
This is an I love League of Legends moment. This is a certified hood classic right here. I hope Giggle was not hoping to get any sleep tonight. In any case... Yeah, it is currently 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the next Drake. Both teams, Mint has successfully clawed their way out of the deficit, and because Gold cannot get any more accelerated, they've evened themselves out. Rep is at full build. The Maul is at the same point as Archer in terms of gold. Fracture has completed a tank item. 21 is going to walk into 3 people and die, and that's gonna be how they... Okay, we're fine. We're fine.
Hysterics. Look, I want to point out something. Credit to the Zinzal for building that Randuin's third. That is 3 crit champions on the enemy team. That item is already slept on against 3 champions. He's getting mega value out of that.
It's huge value. And I mean, that's not even talking about the active, which is just like a good thing. Does it even still have an active? Please tell me it has an active. I'm going to cry. Okay.
Yeah, it
okay.
slows.
Yeah, the active is still like a good... Yeah, the active still is like a good thing to be able to hit. Unless you have decided to wander,
Oh, the exhaust is so late. The exhaust is so late. He is going to be dying here, though, I think. The Galio ult is going to buy a little bit of time, but he is also going to go down. The Nico ult is only going to connect onto 1 despite the flash. The Mel ult is going to clean up 1, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Graves is just pushing bot. This is actually going to be the end of the game, I think.
Wait, Rep can clean those. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's so close.
Wait, Malcolm's on bot. There's no HP on anyone. Rept is just trapped in gay baby jail in mid. So Fracture going in to try and 1v1 Darrow there was absolutely buck wild. That was unhinged. That was just like a decision we make because we think it'll be funny. It actually kind of pans out for them because he's able to live long enough. Darrow blows enough abilities, flashes aggressively, and then just gets absolutely clobbered by the rest of the Mint roster, which means that once Darrow's down, it's only Rexcat who's a real kind of actionable threat in this game. Archer is doing more damage now, has basically, still 1 item off a full build, but is still very dangerous if they're actually like actively using their abilities and right-clicking. So we'll see if they can make a difference there. That's going to be Mountain Soul picked up by Graves. Ice not taking any chances on the back there, just slowly playing this out, keeping Mint out of the pit, picking up that one, moving up to start taking control of the Baron. I think Mint is a-okay just kind of sitting up here for the full 80 seconds until this Baron spawns. Getting top lane moving, getting mid lane moving, setting up that vision, forcing Mint to try and play into them where they can more easily get caught out. Rep does have that GA, which is very nice to see.
This is not safe. This is not safe.
Yeah, the Rep is in an unsafe situation. 21 is here. But man, the damage, everything is so lethal this game because there are no tanks aside from Galio exactly, who's just like a big idiot right here.
Yeah,
big damage coming out.
Big idiot, Rex. What are you doing, homie? You got so much time. Just play it safe. Nico all connects with nothing. I almost want to see Mint just like push this really hard and just try to see them like force something crazy here. Face check with your
just jam it into them. Just jam it into them.
Don't let them recall. Don't let them recall. Yeah. They're stuck. Keep them stuck.
Yeah, the waves are okay for you. Oh no, Ionic has just perished. Fracture's gonna die too.
Oh my God, Tristana just autoed twice and jumped out. That was so bizarre. Half of them had the right idea and half of them had the wrong idea, and so it's just terrible.
Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna collect myself. So we didn't interrupt the recall because we didn't have that vision. We get absolutely slobber knockered up there. Ionic just doing absolutely nothing. This Malzahar has been just an atrocious payout this game in terms of value for the Mint team. But even in the end, they did still get Rexcat. Ice is gonna they're gonna just
what's there?
What is 21? 21's here. The Maul is gonna get some chunk out onto the Nico, but now at this point, the Mint roster have had to reset. The HP bars are too low. They don't have their full team.
21 is here for the steal. Galio.
21's gonna try and go for the steal, but it's gone in far too early. Just trying to get something for moral support, if nothing else, and will perish as. That's the purple worm going over to Ice.
That's such a blunder. Actually, there's no need to flip that there. Like it's not gonna. Even if you steal it, it's not gonna win the game for you. But now he's gotta find a way to fight 4v5 to not have the game end while he's got this 45-second death timer.
Yeah.
It's gonna end. Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
that's so sad, man. I feel like going for the flip is absolutely the worst. Like you said, you don't have to do that because you're not going to win by that anyways. You're not going to win by the Baron. You're going to win by just winning a fight straight up. So if you're going to have to fight anyways, you might as well just let them get the Baron. You know, they can, if they don't play intelligently with the Baron, you can just take a fight and try and win that way.
Look at
Now
their
you've just
team.
given over the Baron, and Ice have decided that we don't want to win. Actually, we've decided we are going to step away. We are going to let the Mint players respawn and give them an honest fight. We're gonna let them have an honest attempt to win the game.
Rex, please, I'm begging you. Rex, please, I'm
Rex,
begging
Rex
you.
is
There's no way
actually
that you
just
could-
like
Oh my
Rex
god,
is actually the greatest player I've ever seen in my entire
Yeah,
life. He's
whatever,
actually
man.
just the
Whatever.
smartest gamer I've
It was
ever
obviously
seen.
a bait. It was obviously a bait that we were far too stupid to see. He's just
You
his brain
wouldn't
is
get
on
it.
a level that we just don't understand.
You wouldn't get it. This is the crazy thing. You wouldn't get it.
He's actually dashing into those minions to get the armor stacks, and he knew that he was going to live just a little bit there because of that.
This is the worst way this game could have ended. I think.
Nah, Graves outplay. I'll take that any day. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Rex just way smarter than every player on the Rift
the
right
turret,
now.
by the way. He's got GA.
Yep. Darrow's GA is gonna get popped as Ice in an absolutely bloody, bruising 45-minute game. Managed to claim that 2-0 and their first win of the season for themselves. For a game that I thought was going to be, first of all, I had thought Mint had lost 1,000 years ago, and they kept us in that one by the skin of their teeth, and they lost it by just blundering into the ultimate Graves mind hack of the century. I don't know what to say. That was cinematic. That was gold.
I think World started early, Becky, with high level.
That's what I'm saying.
High level gameplay like that. I think I might have misread the start time. You know, the website's always broken. I don't know who this was, but that was quality content. We were very glad to see these teams show out for their stream day. Probably the last time we'll be seeing either of these teams on stream, but I'm glad that they got their hurrah in, and a hurrah it was, especially for the boys at Ice who brought it home.
Yeah, they gave us a good show, and that's all we really want to see at the end of the day. And while we were waiting for this, we got some other results that I'm just gonna go through quickly. Should have picked Lee Sin game 2. That's would be great if you hadn't picked it game 1. That's the thing. Ember 2-0 up on DA. So Fallen's team, Fallen and Metro taking a 2-0 there. Final boss, unsurprisingly, getting a 2-0 over Black Twitch League, who are still winless. I think they've now been left alone by Ice now that Ice have picked up their series win. I'm double checking this. Yes, with that series win, it is now Black Twitch League who are the only team still currently winless in this season. And ID have taken a small upset, getting a 2-0 over XSV. Civil and Deathmaster Pones Sinestro have been taken out here tonight. It looks like Flannel's still in their series though, and the less I talk about Flannel, the better it is for my health. So I'm not gonna talk anymore about that. Any closing thoughts on tonight's absolutely incredible gameplay? Are you playing Xin Zhao support?
You know, I might have to look into it. Although I think if I'm playing it, I don't think I'm building those items. Maybe an Umbro Glaive rush. I think you might be cooking something there. At the end of the day, they had a good time. I think probably. I don't know. Rent was probably watching Netflix or something halfway through the last game. So maybe he has some time to catch up on some good TV.
Yep.
But I think the guys at Ice had a good time, and you never know. Like, we saw some good stuff from them. You know, some pretty dominant performances from Rex today. You know, if him and Darrow can do that to other teams, you know, maybe they can turn it around. I think there's a few weeks left. Like 3 weeks left, Giggle? Is that right? Something like that? So
there are 3 weeks left.
yeah, and there are some teams that this team seems to be really split, or the league this season seems to be really split down the middle. There are good teams and there are bad teams. All the good teams are pretty competitive with each other, and all the bad teams are pretty competitive with each other. So there's a chance that maybe Ice could turn this season around. We'll see. I wouldn't bet on it, but it's possible. I think 6 teams have got to make playoffs. So there's
Yeah,
5 good teams. One of these guys is going to make it. Uh,
yeah.
we'll have to see though. I'm not putting my money on Mint. I'm not putting my money on Black Twitch League. So that already puts them that already puts them ahead of 2. So
Yeah,
maybe
that's
we'll
that
see.
they.
Maybe we'll see more of these guys. They're scaling.
Yeah, if Merc lose tonight, that'll definitely help them out. The Flannel's got to take them down. Theoretically, they should, but I would never believe in Flannel actually winning a game until they've actually won the game. And what I've learned, if nothing else, is to win the game, you have to win the game, not lose the game. This is
True.
inspirational, if nothing else. I have been Becky Rita with ADHD tonight. I hope you enjoyed the games. They were certainly something, if for lack of a better word, something. Thank you to the teams for playing it out. We'll see you next week for more intense League of Legends draft action. I may or may not be here. I won't be here. Who am I kidding? But we'll have your regular casters coming back at you, and we'll have a crazy game coming at you. So we'll see you then. Have a good evening.